Hey everybody, welcome back to Story Time with me. Have you guys ever been to the doctor? You have? Wow. Well, I bet you know a lot about it. Well, today I'm going to do a remake of the story, Blue's Checkup. Look, there's Donovan Patton, aka Joe, and Blue, with Dr. Maya. And this book is based off of the episode Blue Goes to the Doctor. And there's a difference. Look, in the book, Blue's Checkup, Donovan Patton, aka Joe, wears an orange shirt, but in the episode Blue Goes to the Doctor, Donovan Patton, aka Joe, wears a blue shirt. There's a difference. But anyway, do you want to read the story with me? Great! Here we go. Blue's Clues, Blue's Checkup. Look, there's Donovan Patton, aka Joe, and Blue. Are you ready for a doctor's appointment, Blue? Asked Joe. Today was the day for Blue's checkup with Dr. Maya. I guess so, said Blue, but she didn't sound too sure. Hmm, it looks like Blue's kind of nervous about her checkup. You know, some people will do get nervous about the checkup. Blue is feeling a tiny bit nervous about her checkup. I wonder what will happen during my visit, she said quietly. What would Dr. Maya do? Let's pack some things to play with in the waiting room, Joe suggested. I'll bring polka dots in my doctor's bag, Blue said. And Boris come along too. Yeah, see? Donovan Patton has Boris and Blue has polka dots. If you don't know polka dots, she is Blue's favorite stuffed animal. Mm-hmm. See? This is this is the doctor's waiting room. When they got to Dr. Maya's office, Joe said, well, here's the waiting room, so let's wait. We can play doctor while we're waiting, said Blue, taking out her doctor bag. Good idea. Okay, said Joe, grinning. Doctor, doctor, my duck has an earache. Blue looked into Boris's ear with a special instrument. Oh, look, an otoscope. A tool to be able to look into someone's ears. I'll have it feeling better in a jiffy, she said as she bandaged Boris's ear. Thanks, Dr. Blue, said Joe. There's Orange Kitten. Then it was Joe's turn to be the patient. Doctor, he cried, I feel sick. Said Dr. Blue. I think you have a temperature. Take a nap and call me tomorrow. Wow, look, a thermometer. A thermometer helps you find a temperature. Just then, they heard Nurse Kenny calling Blue's name. It was her turn to go into the examining room. See, there's Nurse Kenny. Remember him? Mm-hmm. First, Nurse Kenny checked to see how tall Blue had grown. Then he weighed her. Look, a scale. A scale helps you how much you weigh. You're growing very nicely, Blue, said Nurse Kenny. You are 2 feet tall and you weigh 20 pounds. Next, Nurse Kenny checked Blue's blood pressure. He wrapped a cuff around Blue's arm and pumped air into it. Then he listened carefully to Blue's heartbeat. Does that hurt, Blue? Asked Joe. Blue shook her head and giggled. It feels like the cuff is hugging my arm. Yeah, see? See? That's called a cuff. Where we check uh, everyone's blood pressure, you know? I used a cuff before. hmm In fact, I have a cuff right here in my home. Dr. Maya came in. Hello, Blue. Hello, Joe, she said. She washed and dried her hands at the sink, and then she put on her stethoscope. Dr. Maya asked Blue to take deep breaths as she listened carefully to Blue's chest and back. Your heart and lungs sound terrific. Would you like to listen too, Joe? Asked Dr. Maya. Joe put on the stethoscope. Wow! I hear your heart, he said silently. It sounds like this, Blue. Lupped up, lupped up. This is an otoscope, Dr. Maya explained. Would you like to turn on the light? Blue pressed a switch and a little light went on. It's dark inside your body. This light helps me see what's going on in there, said Dr. Maya as she peeked into Blue's ears, eyes, and mouth. Look, Dr. Pan used an otoscope to check Boris's ear too. Next, Dr. Maya asked Blue to lie back on the table. She pressed Blue's tummy all over very gently. Then she helped Blue to sit up again. You are such a good patient, Dr. Maya exclaimed. We're almost done with the checkup. The last thing we need to do is to give you a shot. A shot? Blue asked nervously. Yes, Blue. The medicine inside the shot will help to keep you from getting sick, explained Dr. Maya. You only feel a tiny pinch. We'll count together like this. 1, 2, 3, pinch. Then it's over. Have you ever taken a shot before? Yeah. Sometimes I get a bit scared, you know. Could you give me polka dots to hug? Blue asked Joe. Joe handed polka dots to Blue and gave her an encouraging smile. Yeah, Blue could hug polka dots if she gets scared during a checkup. Ready? Said Dr. Maya. 1, 2, 3, pinch! All done. Hey, that wasn't so bad, said Blue. Wow, look at Blue's bandage. Cool color, huh? Joe started to pack up their backpack while Dr. Maya reviewed another folder. Wait, don't go quite yet, Dr. Maya said as she read it over. Joe, it seems that you are due for a booster shot today. Me? A shot? Asked Joe, surprised. Nurse Kenny leaned over to the examining table and cleaned his arm with a cotton ball. He was Boris to hug, said Blue. Yeah, I thought of it, Pat can hug Boris. Good idea. Well, said Joe, if Blue can be brave, then so can I. He clutched Boris tightly. Ready? Asked Dr. Maya. 1, 2, 3, pinch! All done. You're right, Blue, said Joe. That really wasn't so bad. Good job, said Dr. Maya. Be sure to get a sticker at the front desk on your way out. You were very brave, Blue, said Joe. Thanks, said Blue. So were you. Thanks. Dr. Maya is a pretty cool doctor, Joe grinned. Come on, let's go show everybody our stickers. Wow! Oh, so many stickers! Donovan Patton has a duck sticker. Right? Just like Boris. Oh, and Boris has a heart sticker. Aw. And Blue has a picture of a sun sticker. And Polka Dots has a star. Pretty cool stickers, huh? The end. Yeah, you learn something every time you go to the doctor. Thanks so much for having story time with me.